Hello, this is Kyle. Now, I don't know about you, but I enjoyed watching the Austrian Grand Prix. In fact, I've been enjoying watching Formula 1 all year, yet it seems that others are not so satisfied, and their latest target of derision for some reason has been the Austrian Grand Prix. This is something which both baffles and annoys me. You know, a phrase I keep hearing is that everyone is entitled to their own opinion, which is true, yes, I agree with that, but at the same time, I'm entitled to tell those people to shut up, because now I have something to say on the matter. Criticism of F1 has always existed. At any point in time there have been arguments saying, well, this isn't right, or this needs to be changed. But I feel that, particularly in recent years, we've been moving into a culture where every single little detail is analysed and dissected to death.
This may be because of social media and the fact that there are forums and groups out there specifically dedicated to discussion of every aspect of Formula 1. Another effect of this is that if a few people share an opinion, for example that the engines are too quiet, it very quickly spreads around and other people see it and start joining in the mob.
Now, that is not necessarily a bad thing. In a way, it's good to see the fanbase united, but the problem is there are a lot of people who complain just because they like to complain. That is not the same as what I do here. You guys know by now that I'm more than willing to come out and rant about a sport or a fandom, but it is always out of love. I will complain when I've identified something that is a legitimate problem or that can be improved.
Now, there are problems with F1 in my opinion at the moment. The grid penalties are getting ridiculous with the likes of McLaren, and drivers aren't rewarded enough for raw speed. It's all about driving conservatively, although that's not a new problem, that's been around really ever since the Pirelli era began.
However, the way many so-called fans are reacting, it's as though the Austrian Grand Prix is some sort of manifestation of everything wrong with Formula 1 at the moment. I'm sorry, but no, I'm not having that. I don't know what you were watching, but what I saw was a very entertaining race. Sure, it wasn't amazing, but it's never going to be every time. That's just not how it works. If your standards really are that high, then I don't understand how you got into Formula 1 in the first place, because it's always been like this, even during the golden era.
This golden era thing is another phrase I keep hearing, usually referring to some period in the 80s or early 90s. I have some advice for anyone who uses this phrase. Sit down and actually watch the full races from these years, not just the highlights. Actually watch the 2-hour broadcasts of those races, and then tell me what is so golden about that era. The constant political upheaval, the domination of Williams or McLaren, which was worse than it is with Mercedes now, by the way, the grids half filled with pay drivers. Sure, everyone remembers highlights like Senna and Mansell going wheel to wheel, etc., but then of course they conveniently forget the rest of it. I hate to break it to you, but your golden era doesn't exist.
And what's more, Formula 1 is not predictable, it's not boring, no race is boring to me, and it's not broken, whatever the hell that means. Like I said, the people who are complaining because they like to complain and be part of the mob. There is literally no other reason. Something tells me that whatever happens in the races, they will still never be happy. And it just leads to this horrible build-up of negativity. But anyway, this weekend is the British Grand Prix, and for once I'd like to just sit back and enjoy the race and then be able to discuss it with fellow fans afterwards without any of this whining. So please just stop it. Don't forget to check out my Facebook and my website, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.